Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we'll begin. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavada Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloge Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtigim. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, which is titled as Most Confidential Knowledge, verse number 22nd. It's one of the important verse, very favorite verse. So I will recite. You can repeat after me. Ananya Chindayando Mam
Ananyashchintayano mam
Ananyachintayanto mam
Ejana Pariyupasade
ye jana
Yejananam
paryupasate
paryapsate
Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam
tesam
Tesham
nityabhiyuktanam
nityabhiyuktam
Yogakshemam Vahamyaham
yogo kshemam
Yogashemam
vahamyaham
vaham
Ananya Chindayando Mam
Ananyasya
Ananyashchintayanto mam
chintayanto mam
Ejana Mam Pariyupasade
ye jana
Yejanam
paryupasate
paryapasate
Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam
tesam
Tesham
nityabhiyuktanam
nityabhiyuktanam
Yogakshemam Vahamyaham.
yogo kshemam
Yogashemam
vahamyaham
vaham.
Please recite, devotees.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Ananyashchintayanto mam
Ananya
Ananyasya
Chindayando Mam
chintayanto mam
ye janaः पर्युपासते
Ejana Mam Pariyupasade
पर्युपासते
तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां
Tesham
Tesam
नित्याभियुक्ता
nityabhiyuktanam
योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्
Yogakshemam Vahamyaham.
अनन्यश्चिन्तयन्तो माम्
Ananya
Ananyasya
Chindayando Mam
chintayanto mam
ये जनाः पर्युपासते
Ejana
Yejana
Pariyupasade
उपासते
paryupasate
तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां
Tesham
तेषां
Tesam
नित्याभियुक्तानां
nityabhiyuktanam
योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्
Yogakshemam
Yogashemam
योगक्षेमं
Vahamyaham.
vahamyam.
Thank you. We'll go word by word meaning, synonyms. Ananya, having no other object. Is
अनन्य
अनन्य having no other object
other objects
Hindayandaha,
चिन्तयन्तः
concentrating.
concentrating
concentrating
Ma,
माम्
माम्
on me.
on
on
me
me
Ye, those who.
ये
ये
those
those
who
who
Janaha, persons.
जनाः persons
जनाः persons
Paryupasade, properly worship.
पर्युपासते
पर्युपासते properly worship
Tesham, of them.
तेषां of
तेषां
them
of them
Nitya, always.
नित्य
नित्य
always
always
Abhiyuktana,
अभियुक्तानां
अभियुक्तानां
fixed in devotion.
fixed in
fixed in
devotion
devotion
Yoga,
yoga
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 requirements.
requirements
requirements
Kshemam,
Shemam
protection.
protection
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 Vaham,
Vahami
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 carry
carry
aham,
Aham
aham
I.
I
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Shall
Please repeat after me. But those who always worship me
but
but
those
those who
who
always
always
worship me
worship me
with exclusive devotion,
with
with
exclusive
exclusive
devotion
devotion
meditating on my transcendental form,
meditating on
meditating
my
on my
transcendental form
transcendental form
to them
to
to
them
them
I carry what they lack
I
I
carry what
carry
they
what
lack
they lack
and I preserve what they have.
and I
I
preserve
preserve
what they
what
have.
they have.
Perfect. One who is unable to live for a moment without Krishna consciousness cannot but think of Krishna 24 hours a day. Being engaged in devotional service by hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, worshipping, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, rendering other services, cultivating friendship, and surrendering fully to the Lord. Such activities are all auspicious and full of spiritual potencies, which make the devotee perfect in self-realization, so that his only desire is to achieve the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a devotee undoubtedly approaches the Lord without difficulty. This is called yoga. By the mercy of the Lord, such a devotee never comes back to this material condition of life. Shema refers to the merciful protection of the Lord. The Lord helps the devotee to achieve Krishna consciousness by yoga, and when he becomes fully Krishna conscious, the Lord protects him from falling down to a miserable conditioned life. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stabidam Yena Bhudale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadadi Supadandigam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Udapadagammalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunathanidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Parijana Sahidam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalitam Shri Vishakhanidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dhinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostude तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुदे देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरूपस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तुं सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनामदीदमस्तु मा विदुषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ हरि ओम तत्सत् Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you so much for joining this very auspicious Bhagavad Gita class, which is systematic study. We reached up to this most confidential knowledge, the middle, that chapter, ninth chapter, and we were going through that how it is most confidential. Sri Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is revealing in the beginning of this chapter to Arjuna, this is Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitramidam Uttamam. Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitramidam Uttamam, Ava Pratyaksham Avagamam Dharmyam, Susugam Kartum Avyayam. So this one who knows this, and they will be engaging in the devotional service with the full of bliss and joy. So Krishna is mentioning this at the beginning itself. This is the most confidential knowledge. And throughout this chapter, Krishna is revealing himself. So that is the most confidential knowledge. We have so much of concocted ideas about who is God and who is the Supreme Lord and how the Supreme Lord is great. And we have so many different ideas. Some people think about his Lord doesn't have any form, Lord doesn't have any qualities, and Nirakar, Nirguna, Brahman, all those various ideas. Some people think that Lord doesn't even have a form. It's just what we can say is as a void. So there is a people called the voidism, Shunyavadis. So pretty much, these Buddhists is considered as Shunyavadis or avoidis. That means there's a nirvana. Nothing is there. Nirvana means nothing is there, and they just disappear like that. And only those who perform in certain ways of the life that they can attain that nirvana. Otherwise, they will be again into this world. So that's a Shunyavad. Then there is Brahmanvad. Brahmanvad is actually Jagat Mithya Brahmam Satyam. Whatever we are seeing or Jagat is nothing, there is no Jagat, there is no material world, but Brahman is the only truth, and Jagat is actually not true. Um, like that, it's at all, and it's all, everything is Brahman. So that is the Brahmavadis. Then there is Mayavadis. Mayavadis again. This is also another concept that Maya, which there is not. That which is Maya means that which is not. That means everything is actually Maya, illusion. So they see as a whatever in the material world they consider as a Maya, as an illusion. They see as an elephant, they say this is a Maya, but they don't know that elephant is going to come and hit them. So then they run. So this is their concocted idea. So they everything they say this is a Maya, this is a Maya, this is a Maya. This I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to touch it. I don't want. So I would go away from all this. I would stay somewhere else, and I don't want to touch. So completely aloof from all these things, material things. And this is a Mayavadi. So they come up with all concocted ideas. They say everything is God. Everything is God. So there are lots of ideas out there, and that's we can see that then they are so confused and they cannot come to a point that they can study their mind because of they have so much of concocted ideas and the knowledge, and they don't know who is the Lord. And many people says that, oh, we have so many gods whom you worship. Yes, these are all various ideas and worshippers. So that's what it is here in this chapter. Krishna is revealing that in this section of it, that is starting from the 20th verse onwards. Krishna is revealing those worshippers. That's called demigod worshippers. So they study Vedas, and they do all these karma kandas, all the sacrificials, and karma kanda sacrificials, and they like to enjoy this world. And their concepts of the god is actually dharma, artha, kama, moksha. That means enjoy this world, perform the ritualistic activities and the dharma, and then artha, earn the money, and then enjoy the life, artha, kama, enjoy the world, kama, fulfill the desires, and then liberate, then get the liberation. So there are lots of people like that in this world. I mean, there are certain religion follows that. Their thinking is that you enjoy as much as you want, and one point of time you will frustrate, and you will fed up with it. So that's the point of time. Then now you can turn to the devotion, turn to the Lord. That's what is exactly dharma, artha, kama, and the moksha. And this is also mentioned in our scriptures also. This is known as Purusha Artha. That means 95% of the people are actually going with these kinds of ideas. Okay, let me pray to the Lord, let me get some money, let me enjoy in this world, then finally I will go for liberation and moksha. So that's why people are actually okay. Some people ask when they are at the young age and they started to practice their devotional service, and people ask why you are doing this one, you have enough time. And when you come at the end of the life, you will enjoy your life. And then what happens, as Mukunda Mala in the Kulashegara Alvar mentioning into the Mukunda Mala Stotra, it is mentioned that when we are getting old and at the time of that verge of death, that our throat is completely choked with vada and pitta and the kabha, and especially the mucus, and you cannot even walk because of all the problems. You cannot talk, you cannot walk, you cannot see, you cannot do anything, you cannot even remember. And this is what is the concocted ideas of that people spreading out that okay, you just wait, you have a lot of time, and then when it comes to the verge of death, you practice your devotion, then that won't reach anywhere. So they are not understanding properly. Dear devotees, Krishna is revealing this transcendental, most confidential knowledge to us, whom you worship and when to worship and how to worship, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here in the previous verses, Krishna is revealing that, right? Those who are, going to the karma kandas, then the worship, and then sacrifices, or they worship indirectly. Not directly, they are worshipping indirectly the Supreme, but the intention is that they have to enjoy in this world. So then what happens? By this process, they relieve from their sinful reactions and they do go to heavenly planets and they are able to drink the soma juice that is more livening and they get long life into the heavenly planets. And then as soon as their pious credits are over, that's what it is. It's mentioned that if you one who performs like Ashwamedha Yagam, right? One who performs Ashwamedha Yaga, like 100 Ashwamedha Yaga, if you perform, you get the post of Indra. Even if you do one pious credit, like if you build a temple or build a home, even if you build a home, this is a pious credit that you can enter into the heavenly planets. Like lots of pious credits or dharmic activities are there. One who performs the activities in the mode of goodness, like charity, it's a pious credit. So anything you do good for other people, it's a pious credit. So due to this pious credit, then you can enter into the heavenly planets and enjoy the heavenly pleasures there. And then as soon as the pious credits are over, like as you know that there are 12,000 years, that means the one day of one, like 1 year of in the heavenly planets is 12,000 years on the earthly planets. So like that, it goes like 36,000 years and it goes further, and you can live there in the heavenly planet, and then you can enjoy there all the heavenly pleasures. And as soon as you finish the credit, you come back and take again birth in this world. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that Abhrahma bhuvaner loke punaravartin arjuna mama vedid kaundeya punarjanmam navidyate. From the Brahma, the planet Brahma, to the down to the earth, Puloga, Abrahma Bhuvaner Lokir, Punaravartin Arjuna, these people are taking birth again, and this is the cycle of repeated cycle of birth under this called Samsara Chakra. This Samsara Chakra, people are taking birth again and again and again because of they don't know what they need to do in this life. Everybody has a purpose. Every human life is very rare, and everybody has a purpose. Everybody has. That's why we are getting this human. The human beings are human living entities are so much in consciousness. They are highly developed consciousness so that they can understand and they can realize the purpose of their life. But what happened? Because of their bad association, because of their karma, because of their unfortunate situations, they are not able to proceed, or they are not able to progress well into this Krishna consciousness, and then they stuck here in this world, life after life after life after life. And they come back into this world, they go to the hellish planets, heavenly planets, come back, go back. This is called the samsara. They repeated birth and death after and one after another. So in the yesterday's words, Krishna was saying to Arjuna that the same. When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment but adhering to the principles of the three Vedas actually only repeated birth and death. So, dear devotees, this is called the most confidential knowledge. And this is what is we have to absorb it, take it in our heart, and to understand and realize this, why we are suffering in this world, because of sometimes whatever we are experiencing good in this life because of our good pious credit, but that won't sustain for a long. How long this will sustain? Even in this lifetime, many lives, many people have suffered a lot. They have chronic diseases, they have family problems, they have financial situations, financial problems. Some are losing their homes, some are losing their children, some are losing their husbands, some are losing their wife, some are losing entirely, the family is wiping out entirely. Some village is wiping out by the earthquake, sometimes plane crash, sometimes so many things in this world, so many things in this world. Padam padam vibari padam, it says in Bhagavad Gita that padam padam vibari padam, that every step there is a danger. It's dukkha doshanu darshanam. It's full of miseries and the pain. And even if somebody says that I am so much happy in this world, is their devotee is nothing but it is like a person is sinking into the water, into the ocean, and somebody takes him up from from the water to the air. He takes a breath and he takes a deep breath and he is comfortable, and then again he goes back into this water. So the happiness which we are getting is actually that little bit of time that so we call it as a happiness, right? Happiness is derived that the time in between, the one pain to the another pain. In between, what we get some relief, and that's what is we call it as the happiness. I always give this example. Sometimes we have some sores on your legs or hands or somewhere. When it is actually, sometimes we go there and we scratch it. So when we scratch it, we get little bit of pleasure there, and we keep scratching, right? So that it gets kind of comfort or something like that when you keep scratching. So this is what is this world, dear devotees, that we are trying to scratch. We are trying to find out, artificial happiness in this world. But anybody in this world, that those who are anybody you take in this world are not happy, except one who is realized the purpose of this life. So we are reaching up to this 22nd verse. There it is mentioned that, but those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. This is a very important verse, dear devotees. Always remember this verse, by heart this verse, and keep it in your heart. Always remember that Krishna is there. If I perform loving, unalloyed, loving devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, He is there with me always to proceed or propagate or to protect, as well as to reward them what I lack, and preserve what I have. So why it is mentioned here, preserve what I have? So dear devotees, Krishna says that even if we develop the Krishna consciousness, even if we develop a little bit of Krishna consciousness, that Krishna consciousness will be always there, that never get diminished, because of this bhakti, or the love for the Supreme Lord is eternal. If anybody offer a flower in this life to the Supreme, that is eternal, that will be always there in their credit. That won't diminish. But the pious credits diminish and go away. But the devotion, the bhakti, the love for the Supreme Lord never diminish and never goes away from the credit. That will be always there. That's eternal. So this is called Sukriti. This is where that we develop our bhakti for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. So here Krishna is promising, Krishna is proclaiming that I would reward them what they lack and I would preserve what they have. And whatever that we have, the dear devotees, that when we have the unalloyed devotion, that exclusive devotion to the Supreme, no other, demigod worship, no other worship, no other worship to the people. There are so many gods, so-called gods, and so many, gods out there, because of people's misunderstanding, lack of knowledge. They don't know what is what. So this is very important. That's why we are reading and learning and systematically studying Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, so that we understand. And this is the mercy of the Lord and spiritual master and the devotees, that we are here to learn this transcendental knowledge, so that we know what to do. So we have to have exclusive devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I would cite a story which has happened, maybe 150 years ago. There is a very great devotee called Gita Panda, lived in Orissa. Gita Panda was very fond of this verse, and especially Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Always he read Bhagavad Gita, always he tried to by heart, and always tried to live with the Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna says that, and he was always living with this one verse, Ananya, exclusive bhakti, exclusive devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. And he is always immersed into the Krishna consciousness, always try to engage into the loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord. And he is very much, he has a family and a wife and a children, and many times, he is more focused on the devotion to the Supreme Lord. And then he is a poor Brahmana. And then, of course, poor Brahmanas, they don't, they just go and beg alms and all those things and get something, and, some groceries or the grains they bring back, and the family lives like that. And then there is a big drought happened, and then a big drought, and everybody is struggling, and nobody had anything. And everybody is so much in distress, and nobody has any money or grains, or to share or to give to the people, and they become extremely in a distress condition. So this wife was insisting, this Gita Panda, go out and get something, bring something. Your children are starving here. Why are you sitting here and always reading Bhagavad Gita? And this poor Brahmana, this devotee, says that, no worries, my wife, and Krishna will protect you. Krishna will protect you. Listen here, look at here. Krishna said that he will protect you. He will preserve, what you have. He will reward you what, we lack. Krishna will protect you. Krishna will protect you. And the wife is getting angry because of you. She was keep talking. She was keep asking to this, Gita Panda, this poor Brahmana, go out and get something. And this Brahmana was so much immersed into this bhakti and devotion. So, but this wife was annoying, and one point of time, this Gita Pandit decided, let me go out and see what I can get from. So this Gita Panda left the home, and after some time, and these two boys came with the full sacks of, full bags of groceries and grains, and they were carrying on their shoulder this heavy, the sack bags and full of groceries, grains, and spices, and so many things, and sugars, and jaggery, and so many items, and brought in front of the house of this Brahmana. So his wife came out and asked, I know, who are you? And then these two boys said to this wife that we are the disciples of your husband, the Gita Panda, and we saw Gita Panda, and by the instructions of the Gita Panda, we are bringing these footsteps to you, and and please take it. So wife become very happy, and wife brought everything inside, and wife said that, don't leave, let me cook something for you. And they waited. They said, okay, fine, and we will wait over here. And this wife of Gita Panda cooked this, nice prasadam and nice bhoga, and offered to these boys, and the boys, had this, and they left. And then after some time, Gita Panda came. Gita Panda came and saw that there is a sumptuous, feast over there, and so many items, so many varieties of delicious foods out there. And then Gita Panda was so surprised, and you asked me to go out and get something, and where did you go and get all this stuff, and what is happening here? And Gita Panda was very much, anxious, and to see that how it is all happened. And Gita Panda said, why are you blaming me? Why are you fighting with me? You only that told the two boys that, and you bring all these stuffs over here, and now you are telling that, I don't know anything. And then this wife was telling that like that. And then this then Gita Panda asked, who is these two boys? I don't know. I don't have any disciples. And what are the behavior, or what is the symptoms? I mean, how do they look like, these two boys? So Gita Panda said, one boy was black and another boy was white, and they were very gorgeous and very much glowing, and so wonderful, so beautiful children. And they brought it on their shoulder, all this stuff, and brought it over here. Gita Panda understood. Gita Panda understood that, who is this, came to the doorsteps. And so then, Gita Panda went over there and Bhagavad Gita and look at the same verse. And that verse is actually marked underneath, that there is a verse marked. This Gita Panda, this has always have that faith in the Supreme Lord, that Lord will always protect. And here, the dear devotees, these two boys were none other than the Krishna and Balaram, came to the doorsteps of this Gita Panda and deliver this, in the time of needed help. And dear devotees, and this is so wonderful. And there are so many, incidents, due to the time, I'm not getting into it. There was in Mathura, there was a person who was very pious and very straightforward. He was a very dear devotee of the Supreme Lord. And he has a daughter, and that he has to get this daughter get married, and there was no money at that time. And then he actually went there to a financier and stake his home, and then put the loan and took some loans and came back. And then every month he is paying the money, the monthly mortgage, and to this financier and for this house. And this young lady got married and went away. And then every month this person, Gopal or some, I forgot the name, Gopal something, and giving this mortgage to the financier. But financier was a cheat. His intention was, somehow I should get this property from this person. So every time when he gives this money to the financier, he would, go to in front of the Lord and tell that you are the witness. You are the witness that I am giving this money. So you are the sakshi, you are the witness to give this money. So then, he almost paid up, and then again he said that I need to get my, the document back. I paid almost full, and this financier turned back to him and said, "Where did you pay? When did you pay?" And he was now playing a game, and he said that you didn't pay any money. You just was paying just the interest. You didn't pay any money for the capital. So then this case was came into the court, and then unfortunately this person was telling that then he has to prove that what is the witness on those days, like olden days, not many years ago, like maybe like 50, 80 years ago. And then this person was in the court, and the judge asked, "You have any witness?" And he said, "Yes, I have a witness. That is my Gopal. That's my Supreme Lord Gopal." And then the judge was seeing his sincerity and his purity and his devotion to the Supreme, and judge didn't have any doubt about it. But this financier was seeing that, okay, that somehow he can get this property because of he doesn't have any witness. So then one day judge said, then this person said that I can show the witness, I can bring my witness to this courtroom. And then this is then judge put a date. Okay, you come with your witness on this day. And then these days came, and then the judge was calling both of this party, and he was telling that my lord is there, my lord was witness, and his name is Gopal. And then judge asked, "Where is your witness? Where is your Gopal? Where is your lord?" So all on a sudden, a person came into the courtroom and stood into the this the place where the people are cross check, cross what is called arguing, and the witness stand there. He was standing, and all on a sudden, judge asked, "What's your name?" "My name is Gopal." "Did you see that this person is giving the money back to this financier?" He said, "Yes, I am." "What's your name?" "My name is Gopal." "Where do you live?" "I live in Mathura." And then judge got convinced completely, and after that he just disappeared. And this brahmana, this person was looking for this person, where did he come from? He just disappeared, he couldn't see anywhere. And this was actually a lady who was, for that young lady, this money is actually borrowed. That lady came back to Madhura and started to live there, and revealed this story to the devotees over there. So, dear devotees, there are so many incidents out there that Lord always protects such devotees. And then the question is now how how can reach to this exclusive devotion or Ananya Bhakti, right? See, our Param Dharma is actually that to execute unalloyed devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's in the Bhagavad. It says that Savai Pumsha Paro Dharma Yador Bhakti Radokshate. Savai Pumsha Paro Dharma Yador Bhakti Radokshate. That Supreme Personality of Godhead, to execute that exclusive devotion to the Supreme is our ultimate dharma, ultimate duty. Dharma means our duty, and ultimate duty is that this exclusive devotion to the Supreme. Then people ask that, okay, then how do we live here? How do we live? And all those things. We have so many counter questions that just excuses. We have so many excuses and reasons that not to worship the Supreme Lord. And I'm a husband, I'm a wife, I'm earning, I'm going to the work, I don't have any time, I have so many things, I have family obligations, I have that obligation, this obligations, societies and the country and the land. You have endless obligations or excuses not to perform devotion to the Supreme. On the other hand, the reason that I don't want to go away from my comfort zone, and I don't want to stop my enjoyment in this world, so that this is the way we are trapped into the Maya, trapped into the clutches of the Maya. But one has to have exclusive devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Exclusive devotion. How that exclusive devotion? Ahaituhi apratihada yayedatma suprasidadaha. Apratihada, that means unconditional love for the Supreme. Many people goes to the Supreme and says that, okay, oh Lord, give me that, I will pay you $100 and give me this, this one. This kind of a business, this kind of a barter system is a business. So we should not engage into such kinds of devotion. We should have unalloyed, exclusive, unconditional, unalloyed, uninterrupted love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, dear devotees. Uninterrupted love for the Supreme. So in the Nectar of Instructions, Srila Rupa Goswami, Nectar of Devotion, Srila Rupa Goswami says this one, Anyavilashida Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam Bhaktiruttama. Anukulena. So we have, no, it's not that we say everything is a Maya, I don't want to touch it, I don't want to neti, I just go away and all those things. No. Instead of that, we utilize everything for the service of the Supreme. If you have a home, utilize that service of the Supreme. If you have money, utilize for the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We have children, use them for the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We have, capabilities, even we have a, speaking capability, utilize for the service of the Lord. We have a singing capability, utilize for the service of the Lord. We have, you are an intelligent person or we are an intelligent person, utilize that intelligence for the service of the Lord. We have senses, utilize for the service of the, service of the Supreme Lord. The body and the mind, everything we can utilize the service of the Lord. When we have utilized whatever we have for the service, understanding that this is all, that what we have is nothing, it's not mine, it's all, I'm not the proprietor, but I should utilize this all in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the way, dear devotees, we can have an exclusive devotion. Otherwise, what we think that, we always think that and always claim that the false proprietorship, because we are claiming always the false proprietorship and always have that intention to get the desire of to enjoy that, to fulfill those desires of enjoyment in this material world. But dear devotees, I can say you that what you are having is like, just 1:1,000. The material happiness, even if you say 1, the spiritual bliss and the happiness is 1,000 times better than that. The spiritual happiness is known as bliss. Materially, what we are achieving is just a happiness. Just we are calling it as a happiness. And the spiritual bliss and the happiness is called that Sandhrananda Visheshasma, Sandra Ananda, the condensed bliss. So, dear devotees, because of we are completely entrapped into the Maya, the clutches of this material suffering, it is a bit difficult to come out and see and to taste that the devotion, that the bliss. And it's very, it's once we are exclusively practice the devotion to the Supreme Lord, naturally we can come to that taste, come to that state of that exclusive, the extreme or condensed bliss and eternity, and then full of knowledge and the happiness and the bliss, whatever you call it as. So this is the stage that we all have to come, and this is possible, and there are so many. And it's mentioned that Vidaraga Bhayakroda Manmana Mamupasuda Behavo Gyanatabasa Bhutamat Bhavamagadaha. By being freed from the anger, attachment, and the fear, and they completely worship Vidaraga Bhayakroda Manmana Mamupasudaha. They worship me in their mind exclusively, and Bhagavo Gyanatabasa, there are many, so many, and Bhutamat Bhavamagada, they come to me, right? As it's mentioned that. And there are so many other places Krishna says that this exclusive devotion, Sarvadharman Paritejyam Magmekam Sharanamraja, Krishna says that. Krishna says, Manmanamo Bhat Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuram Mame Vaishyasi Satyam De Pradijane Priyosime. Manmana, worship me, offer your homage unto me, always offer your homage unto me, worship me, and meditate upon me, and thus you will come to me, because such devotees are very dear to me, that priyosime, such devotees. So dear devotees, the Lord is there, Lord is right there, but only the difference is, actually many people says that, okay, why I'm not seeing the Lord, and Lord is there, but we don't want to see the Lord. That is the thing. We don't want to see the Lord. We are always entrapped with this Maya. We think that, and as it always says that, we think that we are going to live eternally. And there was a nice pastime between Yudhishthira Maharaj and Yamaraj. When the Yudhishthira Maharaj and Pandavas were passing through the forest, and then they came to a pond there, they were so thirsty, and they wanted to fetch the water from this pond. But this was actually the pond owned by the Yamaraj, but it's all was there. So initially the Nakula went there into the pond and then tried to take the water, and at that time the Yamaraj mentioned that, you cannot take the water from this pond. This is mine, and if you answer my questions, and then you can take it. Then as a Kshatriya, as a Nakula said that, who are you? Who are you asking me to? This pond is for general, everybody can fetch the water. Why you are telling that this is mine? And you are not the right person, and I will take the water. This is the ego, this is the prestige, right? Things like that. So Nakula tried to take the water immediately, he died. And then one by one, everybody like Nakula and Sagadeva, then Arjuna, the Bhima, then Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira is always Dharma Putra. He is always upkeep the Dharma. Even if a small ant asks for something, Dharma Putra gives that, always upkeep that Dharma. This is the real Dharma, and always upkeep the Dharma. So this time, Dharma Putra went to the pond, and Yamaraj asked this, you cannot take the water from this. So Dharmaputra, with such a folded hand and such a humility, such a humble way, asked, how can I, question, how can I answer your question? Please ask me. So then asked, there are so many questions due to the time, I'm not getting into it. And one question asked, what is the most amazing thing in this world? And Yudhishthira Maharaj, without even doubting that, said that people are dying every day. People are dying every day, and the person who is seeing that the person are dying every day never think that I'm going to die in one day. And this, when people behave accordingly, it sees that when I see this one, I'm so most amazed. And Yamaraj was so pleased with all this, and because of that, it was Yamaraj, and again regained their life, all their brothers. And this is the thing, dear devotees, and who knows when are we going to our time? But we have our time like ready cash today we have. So we have to engage like a Shubhasya Shikram. We have to engage in this, in the loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord. So in the nectar of instruction, nectar of devotion, further says that Sarvopadi Vinirmukta Tatparatena Nirmalam Rishigena Rishigesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchade. So Sevanam Bhakti Ruchade. We have to come to that title of Uttama Bhakti, or pure devotee of the Lord, dear devotees. There is no Anya Bhilashi, there is no other worship, there is no other demigod worship, there is no other desires other than Krishna, there is no other. So everything we can surrender to Krishna, and this promise, Krishna promised that then I will take care of you, I will reward you what you lack, and I would preserve what you have, is Krishna's promise, Lord's promise, dear devotees. All we need to do is nothing but just to take this in our heart and apply it in our life, and then carry forward. So Krishna will be always there, dear devotees. This is the most confidential knowledge that we always can have. And then with this note, I would come to a very beautiful poem which is written by the Govinda Das. So Govinda Das written a very beautiful poem which I would recite and mention that. So it is so that we will get that this is a very beautiful poem, and let me share that beautiful poem. It is over here, and everybody can see this. So I think many of you can see that. Now, what is this? Is a Govinda Das, is a very pure devotee of the Lord, and telling us that what is this world? It's actually a replica of what is happening to us. It's a very beautiful, very famous a song, and it goes like this way: Bhajahure mana Srinanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Durlabha Manava Janama Satsange Taruhoye Bhava Sindure Bhajahure mana Srinanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare. So it goes, the translation, O mind, just worship the lotus feet of the son of Nanda, which makes one fearless. Having obtained this rare human birth, cross over this ocean of worldly existence, through the association of the saintly persons. Sida Atapa Badavarishana Edhina Jamini Jagire. Sida Atapa Badavarishana ಎದಿನ ಜಾಮಿನಿ ಜಾಗಿರೆ ಬಿಬಲ ಸೇವಿನೋ ಕೃಪಣ ದುರಜನ ಬಿಬಲ ಸೇವಿನೋ ಕೃಪಣ ದುರಜನ ಚಬಲ ಸುಖಲಭ ಲಾಗಿರೆ. Both in day and night, I remain sleepless, suffering the pains of the heat and cold, the wind and the rain. For a fraction of flickering happiness, I have uselessly served wicked and miserly men. ये धन यौवन पुत्र परिजन ಇದಕ್ಕೆ अच्छे परा ತೀದಿರೆ. ये धन यौवन पुत्र परिजन ಇದಕ್ಕೆ अच्छी परा दीदिरे. कमलदल जल जीवन तलमल कमलदल जल जीवन तलमल भजौ हरिपद निधिरे. What assurance of real happiness is there in this, in all of one's wealth, youthfulness, sons and the family and members? This life is tottering like a drop of water on a lotus petal. Therefore, you should always serve and worship the divine feet of Lord Hari. It's a very beautiful, very powerful, statements and verses. ಶ್ರವಣ ಕೀರ್ತನ ಸ್ಮರಣ ವಂದನ ಪಾದ ಸೇವನ ದಾಸ್ಯರೇ. ಶ್ರವಣ ಕೀರ್ತನ ಸ್ಮರಣ ವಂದನ ಪಾದ ಸೇವನ ದಾಸ್ಯರೇ. ಪೂಜನ ಸಖಿ ಜನ ಆತ್ಮ ನಿವೇದನ ಪೂಜನ ಸಖಿ ಜನ ಆತ್ಮ ನಿವೇದನ ಗೋವಿಂದ ದಾಸ ಲಾಶರೇ. It is the desire and great longing of Govinda Das to engage himself in the 9th process of bhakti, namely hearing the glories of Lord Hari and chanting those glories, constantly remembering him and offering prayers to him, serving the Lord's lotus feet, serving the Supreme Lord as a servant, worshiping him with flowers and incense and so forth, serving him as a friend and completely offering the Lord's one's very self. So this is a very beautiful song, which also reveals that how one can become the exclusive devotion to the Supreme, or a pure devotee, or a Uttama Bhakta. Dear devotees, this is the most confidential knowledge that always that we can have. And we should always focus on this and take it in our heart and remember this as what we can, how we can become completely is the same, the simple process. Prahlad Maharaj explained this into the Srimad Bhagavatam, that Shravana Kirtana, hearing process, hear the holy name and the glories of the Lord and chant that glories and chant the holy name. Shravana Kirtana, Smarana Vandana, Smaranam, Vishnu Smarana, remember the Supreme Lord. This way our complete body and mind and the senses all in the service of the Supreme Lord. Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Sakyam Dasyam Atma Nivedanam. Be friendship with the Lord, be talk to the Lord, be a servant of the Lord, offer obeisance to the Supreme Lord, offer the Archana and article to the Supreme Lord, remember him, become friendship with him and surrender yourself to the Supreme Lord. Dear devotees, this is the perfection of our life and this is the mercy of the Lord. If one is able to do that in their lifetime as a human, and he would definitely attain the Supreme Lord. As you know that if you just realize yourself who you are, we can come to that understanding. And from all the scriptures, and everybody says one thing, that we are that spiritual spark, that spiritual potency that Supreme Lord has, the same potency. But we are tiny here in this world. But the Supreme Lord is completely spiritual, but we covered by this material, but we have a spiritual body. And this that we can attain, and once who comes to that realm, that spiritual realm and exclusive devotion to that Supreme Lord, then we can be completely attain that Supreme Lord. So Krishna says in many places that one who reaches my abode never comes back into this material world. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yovedi tattvadaha tektva deham punarjanma naidi mamedi sa Arjuna. My transcendental appearance and activities are divine. One who knows this, upon leaving the body, never comes back into this material world again. He will come back to me without fail. So that's a conclusion, dear devotees, and we should always have that love for the Supreme Lord. We should always have that love for the Supreme Lord. That's called bhakti, not that this give and take kind of approach. Should have always that unalloyed devotion, unalloyed love for the Supreme Lord, because He is everything for us. Okay, with this note, I would end here. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Are there any comments, any concerns, reflection, questions? So let's open up. Let's have some discussions. Anybody? Everybody is.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you,
Yeah.
Prabhu. That was a very nice class. I'm trying to understand, Prabhu, this verse. So, whomever Krishna, to put it in a simple way, whomever Krishna likes, he provides what they have, what they lack, and protects what they have.
Yep.
Now, also we've heard that whom Krishna loves, he takes away everything from them so that they become completely dependent on him. So I was just trying to, as a devotee, trying to understand how this particular verse, it appears to me, is maybe for someone who is, I don't know if I should use the word neophyte, but a person whom Krishna really loves, means that person has, that Atma Nivedan and everything.
Yeah.
So how do we understand the two different types of devotees, Prabhu? And what should us as sadhaka approach be?
Yes, wonderful question. Wonderful question. Yes, Krishna's name is known as Hari. Hari means one who removes all the obstacles in the path of bhakti. So what Krishna is takes away that which is not necessary for us, which is an impediment for our devotion, which is an like just for an example, like we have developed so many pride, right? For an example, like we have. So what happens? Krishna takes away that pride somehow or other way. Krishna not necessarily that whatever our life or means of life. It's not that he takes away and he will put us in a such a very poor and bad condition. It's not that way. So what Krishna is takes away is actually anything which is not necessary to propagate Krishna consciousness, to engage in the loving devotional service. Krishna takes away that. Krishna always keep that, protect our bhakti, our love for the Supreme Lord. Krishna will always, take away what is unwanted, unnecessary, because Krishna knows what is best for us. There was a story like this. Krishna and Balaram in Dwaraka went one day out, and just like a walk in disguised mode, and you know Krishna, and they came to a devotee's pure Brahma, pure devotee's house, and he saw that some kinds of embodiments there, and actually that this devotee, this Brahmana, is very pure in his heart, very pure devotee, but he has little inclination towards some kind of wealth, that. And then that actually that's we call it as a greed. We can see it as a greed. So if anybody has a greed, then Krishna takes away that. So anybody has a pride, anybody has this anarthas like a lust, anybody has this anarthas, Krishna takes away all those. And Krishna will anything that which is impediments for the pure loving devotionist, it will take away, and Krishna knows. And then we know that, right? So many examples out there in this world. So Krishna knows that Krishna is Antaryatmi. He's called Antaryatmi. He is actually Bhavagrahi Janardana. He is Antaryatmi. He is there in everybody's heart. And Krishna knows that we cannot cheat Krishna or anything like that. So he is there in everyone's heart. He knows what is really this devotee needed. And when he shows that sincere devotion, and in the case of Nardadev, just for an example, Nardadev didn't have at the early age. Nardadev father passed away, and Nardadev was just 5 years old, and Nardadev was completely depending upon the mother. completely depending upon the mother. Mother goes to the different houses as a maid and do something and get something and living like that. And mother was a maid. But by the mercy of the Bhakti Vedantas, Narada Dev got this bhakti, and it was so deep in their heart of Narada Dev, and it developed that devotion to the Supreme. And one point of time, he was thinking that, how can I serve the Supreme Lord more and more and more. That's the time the mother of Narada Dev got bitten by a snake, and when she went in the night time outside and passed away. So then what happened? Narada Dev was just thinking, this was all the will of the providence, so that I can completely engage into the loving devotional service to the Supreme. So Narada Dev just immediately left the home and walked toward the Himalayas in the north. There were so many things in between, mines and the riches and the gold and the wealth and so many things. Narada Dev had such a focus and sincere devotion, and finally Narada Dev reached there, and Lord appeared. Lord's voice came there. Oh Narada, you attain the perfection. You won't see me in this life, but you will see me in the next life. So this is what it is. So Krishna takes away what is embodiment for the bhakti, and what is what is called that. That doesn't mean that Krishna will put that devotee in such a distress condition. No, Krishna will provide. So just the case of a Mrigari. So Mrigari, Narada was instructing Mrigari that go and sit there and worship the Supreme Lord. And then Mrigari asked, "How is my food and how I live?" No worries about that. You will get the food. So Lord immediately arranged the food for this Magari. He was wonderfully, there was a feast for that devotee. And so many, it's just about the temples, especially so many devotees, they don't go for work or anything, but they live like more than anybody, it's richest person in the world. So it's not that Krishna takes away everything and put us in a dustbin or on the road, and then you go like that. But when you have that sincere devotion, Krishna takes away all this, and then so with that, so that we can more focus on Krishna. So if there is any material kind of opulence, it's like that creates the pride and egos. Krishna takes away all those and simple living and high thinking. And if you understand this, and if you pray that to Krishna, a genuine praise to the Supreme, always Krishna fulfills. That's why Krishna says that so akama sarva kama moksha kama upadarati tivrena bhakti yogena ejade purusham. Even if you have desire, even if you have no desire, you can approach and you will get that. And Krishna says that also, that chaturvija badande mam Jana Sugurdano Arjuna Artho Arthartha Jignasu Jnanina Bharadashrabha. Right? Krishna says that one who desire of wealth, he approaches me and I give them. One who incur of the knowledge, he approaches me, I will give them. So it depends on that, dear devotees, that Krishna is not that, put everybody on the street or not like that. Krishna knows what is better than us. He only knows what is good for us for the tomorrow. So Krishna act accordingly and reciprocate accordingly, as in the Bhagavad Gita says that Ye yadamam prabadhyande stamstadeva bhajamyaham mama vartamanu vartande manushya partha sarvashaha. I reward them accordingly how they approach me. This is the fact, dear devotees and Prabhuji, that this is the fact. How we approach is our sincere devotion to the Supreme. He will reciprocate accordingly. If you are desire of wealth, Krishna reciprocate accordingly. But when we have that exclusive devotion and sincere devotion, that I need only Krishna, there is anything else I have, what is the use of it? Like Hanumanji. Hanumanji got a pearl necklace, and Hanumanji looked at it and says that there is no name for in this pearl necklace. He just throw it away. And then he asked for that. He said, if the name of Krishna is Dham is not there on the pearl, then Lakshmana asked this question. Then what about your body? And Hanumanji opened the chest and saw that Krishna is there. So such devotees, what is actually wealth and everything is insignificant. They don't have any value. So such devotees, Krishna made that arrangement. Many devotees at the vanaprastha stage, they leave everything. They go to the forest and they live like that. They completely take the shelter of the Lord. Some devotees, they still have that desire. Krishna provides that. So this is the way it works, that how we approach Krishna, what is our desire, what is our exclusive. So Krishna reciprocate and respond accordingly. It's not that completely put away. So in the case of that, even if, yes, if you are exclusive devotion to the Supreme, and we have this one, we are depend like family and the, we have children and the family and the home. So we engaged everything in the service of the Lord. Then where is this wealth? And there is no wealth. It's all Krishna's property. This is the way devotee thinks, that everything is Krishna property, and I would utilize that everything for the service of Krishna. So such devotees, even if they have no have, doesn't matter. So Krishna provides, the most important Krishna provides is the bhakti, and preserve the bhakti, and everything what is in order to support that bhakti, Krishna will always preserve. But a person has unwanted disease and the things like that. And then if you have a devotion, that will go away. Krishna will take away those things. This is the way it works. That's my understanding, Broji, or my realization that way. And hope, I don't know that this answer your question.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Do you have any suggestions? You have anything to add to that?
Prabhu, I was just trying to look at, how the Pandavas, they went through so many trials and tribulations from Mother Draupadi, her Vastaharan. And even when they were in the forest, Duryodhan didn't leave them alone. He tried to burn them.
Yes,
and,
yes.
so many other mischief. And they were constantly in one problem to another problem.
Yes.
They were more and more getting closer to Krishna, that dependent. I think Mother Kunti also prayed, give me trouble, so that you can be more intense in my thinking of you. So
that is a good example, wonderful example. But we have to look at this way. Krishna and the activities around Krishna is all pastimes of Krishna. That we take it as a, we compare with our own things. But in the case of Pandavas and the Arjuna was nothing but Arjuna and Krishna was Nara Narayanas. Arjuna was Nara and Krishna was Narayana. They were both are the part of Krishna. Arjuna and Krishna, they were inseparable. They were acting the role of all this. When Krishna comes down on this material world, Ayadahi Dharmasya, Glanubhavati Varda, along with Krishna, there are so many other, So Duryodhana was the Dharmaputra, the sons of Yamaraj, and not an ordinary. And Arjuna was Indra, the sons of Indra, and and before that they were all actually attained in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in the Mahabharata, in the last, that last kanda, you can see that they all attained, and they were serving directly in the supreme abode of Krishna. They was fanning. Yudhishthira was fanning the Supreme Lord. Arjuna was massaging the lotus feet of Krishna, like that. So we may see this like 13 years, 14 years is most difficult. We may see through our eyes that this is but this is also a pastime. But Krishna always protected them, right? Even if sun god delivered that the Akshaya Patra, and Arjuna got the Gandiva in all respect. So they were preparing, actually. Krishna was making the plan. It's like a drama, preparing all these are actually to annihilate the people in such a way that they all can show their arrogance. And that's the way, like Krishna killed almost everybody in the battlefield. This was a plan. That's a way that you guys ended, and to annihilate the miscreant. And then Krishna protected that, and then they lived their entire kingdom, and the entire kingdom, entire Bharatavarsha became more religious than Adharmas. Otherwise, there were so many impious kings, and they were so there's atrocities, and all abominable activities were spread all over this. So Krishna made that arrangement, bring everybody together on the battlefield. So how could it is possible? This is all the arrangement of the Lord. And we saw that when Krishna showed the universal form and told to Arjuna, look at that. I have arranged, everybody is already been killed. Everybody is going inside the mouth of Krishna. Everybody is already arranged. So it was also a plan of Krishna. So we have to say that. So Krishna has a plan for his devotees. But remember that even Mother Kundi was saying, what was Mother Kundi's praying? Oh Krishna, give me trouble. They didn't realize, give me trouble so that I can see you, I can serve you. Kundi didn't see that, okay, give me another 10,000 that I can enjoy this. So Mother Kundi was saying to Krishna, and this is the same prayer for the Yudhishthira Maharaj. As soon as Krishna or the Yudhishthira Maharaj came to know that Krishna departed this world, they all left the kingdom. They just gave it to the Parishit. They left the kingdom. Not even after the Kurukshetra war, they didn't even lived for long, like in the sense maybe 30 years, 36 years. That's it. But on the other hand, on the Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, 36,000 years, Dhruva Maharaj. But here in this case, they were pure devotees of the Lord. As soon as the Krishna departed, they all left the home and they, went to the Himalayas and they attained the Supreme Lord. And they, in the Mahabharata, it's the last, it's mentioned that the same thing. So they were actually all, they knew that they were all struggling in one sense, that in our eyes that they struggled in all those things. But it was all Krishna's arrangement to fight against the adharma, and Krishna was making sure that. And Krishna is the one who told Arjuna to have the penance and get all the divine weapons. This is all Krishna's arrangement, Krishna's will, isn't it? Everywhere Krishna is protecting. And so we say that, so Krishna always give that shelter to the devotees. Krishna will always protect in such a way that, but also Krishna has a plan for his devotees that we don't know, so that we may see it as a difficulties or something like that. But in other sense, Krishna knows, and Krishna is taking care of all these devotees in all respects. Yes, they may go to, like just a case of a Brahmana, Sudama Brahmana is a very poor, and Krishna knows it, right? Krishna knows that he was a. But what is Krishna is looking? It's not that Krishna is giving so much of wealth and you enjoy the life. Krishna is relishing that how much love that devotee is sharing with each other. This is what is Krishna is exactly looking for from everybody. Pandavas are such a love for Krishna. When Duryodhana came to get Krishna on their side, what Krishna did? Krishna closed their eyes and Krishna, asked Arjuna that what do you need? I want you, Krishna. Duryodhana said, I need, entire army. So this is what it is. So once a person in the pure devotional platform, anything is there, it doesn't matter for them. They don't feel that, but we feel it. Oh, this is that way, this likes that. But on the other hand, a devotee, a pure devotee on the devotional platform, that he is looking that give me more trouble. That's what is they are looking. Give me more trouble so that I can always, remember you. I can always serve you. You will be always with me. But if I get some more and more, then I would forget you. So this is the materialistic, but the pure devotee always, worship the Supreme Lord. As Srila Prabhupada says that, yeah, I'm a puppet in your hand. You can put me in any conditions. Think about that, how Srila Prabhupada lived. But see that what is happened this now. So this is all an arrangement. It's all pre-arranged activities, or called the pastimes of the Lord. So Lord has such a pastimes, and with the devotees, and see, how things are happening. We may see it as a difficulty. Srila Prabhupada went through so many difficulties. But at the end, the fruit which comes out, and this is Krishna's hands, Krishna's signature in everything, so that we all can, how that Krishna is, now up, delivered, or what is called glorified. The Srila Prabhupada is there is not, we can say that in this century, or we can say that 1,000 years back, Ramanuja Acharya was there, and after that, one Acharya was the Srila Prabhupada manifested on this world. Is it in an ordinary? So, like, just for an example, Shyamananda Pandit and the Srinivas Acharya, they were all struggling. But what they were struggling for? To propagate the holy name of the Lord. They were looted. They were struggled. Even they were put into the jail. And they had to go through. But at the end results, actually, because of all that, it's like a drama. Because of all this, is these bits and pieces and the dots and connects here and there. And then finally, when it finishes, it's a beautiful thing. Because of that Pandava, we are, their struggle, they went through the forest and all this, we are still remembering, we are still learning that. If everything was nice, would we talk about it? We won't even talk about it, isn't it? So Krishna knows this better. Yeah.
Very nice, Prabhu. Very nice explanation. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
such a
you.
discussion. It's very nice. Wonderful. Anything else? Anybody else has anything?
Prabhu, if I may
Oh, please,
also
please.
add something that I had heard in some
Please.
lecture. Unfortunately, I don't remember
Hmm.
which Maharaj it was. What I remember hearing is that we have our Sukruti and the bad karma to pay in this lifetime. Coming, we keep carrying it forward from every lifetime, right?
Yep.
So sometimes it so happens that we find devotees get inundated with so many problems is to burn the karma off.
Yep.
So instead of, let's say, you have to sorry, get rid of your bad karma maybe in 2 lifetimes, you'll burn it off in 1 lifetime. So that you can, since you've taken up the devotional service, you can go back to Godhead. It expedites the process, so to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Very true. Very true. Very true. Yeah, that's the case of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Like when the Kumaras cursed them, and they were then requesting the Lord, that we want to serve you, Lord, quickly as early as possible. So then, instead of many lifetimes, they just request only 3 lifetimes, and said that, by the mercy, 3 lifetimes you will come back and serve the Lord. So this Jaya and Vijaya, then they become, like they were the gatekeepers and dear servants of the Lord. By the curse of Kumaras, they became the Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. They wanted to finish quickly, but that's also another pastimes of Krishna's pastimes, and they came, and so that, see, Krishna's when does something, and this has a many, many, many lessons for each and everybody. So we learned then Prahlad Maharaj came in the story, and by that Praharaj Maharaj, the devotion and the supreme, everything is actually then ultimately come to the point and understanding of that our purpose of the life is that understand. So Bhagavad entirely this one, taking us to that level of understanding and putting us into that point of understanding that our purpose of life, our aim, our goal, everything is actually to understand, realize that the Supreme Lord. So all the Bhagavad, all the incidents, all the past times happen to bring to that point. So like that's the same case for Hiranyasha, Hiranyakashipu. And they were finishing everything and they did so much of things. Whatever the many lifetimes they had to do, that they finished in 3 lifetimes. That is true. So when we have that Sugruti, and then we have an opportunity, sometimes many times people say that why the good things are bad things are happening for good people. And the reason is this, and this is the theory of karma again, right? They are finishing up there quickly, and so that they can, so good people, actually they will suffer. This is the platform of goodness, as that's a kind of karma. But when we come to the devotional platform, dear devotees, now as Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, right, once they finish their karma, when they enter into the devotional platforms, now onwards Krishna is actually they are under the protection of Krishna. Devi Yesha Gunamai Mamaya Durataya. Oh, sorry, Mahatmanamstu Pamartha Devim Prakriti Masada. So such great devotees then come under the protection of Mahatmana, the great devotees, and Devim Prakriti. They are under the spiritual realm, under the protection of the Lord. There they are executing the wonderful pastimes of the Lord. They will be assisting the Lord. Srila Prabhupada says that, Srila Prabhupada says that whoever is associating with the Krishna consciousness is called this Gaudiya Sampradaya. They are all the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are the assistants of the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are called the Gaurangas. They are actually mentioned that they are the warriors of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu selected these devotees to propagate the holy name in this age of Kali. They are known as the Gaurangas. They are the close associates of the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So look at that in this world. See, things are happening like great sannyasis and the devotees. They are propagating and this holy name throughout the world. And why? Because of they are all being by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. They are acting in the pastimes of the Lord. They are engaging in the service of the Lord. So anybody engaging in the service of the Lord, dear devotees, is the mercy of the Lord, and they are actually enacting in the pastimes of the Lord. Otherwise, a karmi, those who are doesn't look for it, they are always looking for in the goodness, pious credits and things like that. Okay, let me get this, let me get this, let me do this, let me do this. Yes, I mean they may be good and things like that, but sometimes what happens, they are have to go through this so that immediately then they can finish up quickly, and then they can also enter into the loving devotional service. But one who has a mercy, if somebody has a mercy, like a devotee, a pure devotee of the Lord, and blessing a devotee and giving the opportunity blessing, their karma can be vanished just like that. Like, when we clap, all the flies, all the birds are flies away like that. So then they are amidst there. We can see that in this world, some people are, they are quickly make so much progress in the Krishna consciousness. Some people come in a 1 year and next year they become the sannyasi, they become brahmacharis. Why it is happening? So they are leaving everything and coming to that. So it's all depends on how your sincere desires and how Krishna reciprocate. All those depends on all that, and that's the way the karma theory of karma works accordingly. And some accumulates the karma and they suffer in the next lifetime, and then some already manifest. That's called the prarabdha karma, the karma which is manifesting, and there is aprarabdha karma yet to manifest. There are so many things like that. But loving devotional service, Srila Prabhupada says, Srila Rupa Goswami says that aprarabdha prarabdha bhalam vinirmukta, everything is actually at a time. Everything, once you enter into the devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all this karma, all the seed, all the proclivity, everything will be removed, everything will be diminished. And then what happens? Srila says that if we stop the fan for some time, it will continue to rotate for some more time. So that's what is, we can see that even if one who entered in the devotional service, then what happens? That momentum of that one is still continue a little more, but one point of time they will become completely pure, and they will completely surrender to Krishna. So karma works in different ways. That is all depends upon how that we get an opportunity, the mercy, our endeavor is all depends upon that, right? So that yes, karma finishes for such people quickly, and some get into that. Some maybe take so much of time, some more time. Some may take lifetimes, like that. Is that okay, Mataji, or is that yeah? Anything to add?
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. I'm sorry, I was on mute and talking. I didn't realize.
No, I was just asking if there is anything to add to that.
No, Prabhu. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mataji. Anything else? Anybody has anything to add? Any?
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, my question was around in the episode of Draupadi, when I just wanted to understand her side of the character. We understand that I believe it's because of Draupadi the whole war was commenced.
Yeah.
And is that a correct understanding? Like we say that she just like we all of us have some anarthas. Is it because of her, some of her anarthas, something happened and the war came into being? I'm just trying to understand around her character. How do we understand that with the anarthas that we as sadhakas are trying to eliminate?
Yeah. Again, yes. I mean, I would say that how Draupadi manifested from the fire sacrifice. The what is that name? I'm sorry. Dronacharya's friend. You know the name? The father of
I
Drupad Maharaj.
Drupad
Drupad.
Maharaj. Actually, Draupadi name is Drupad Maharaj.
Drupad.
Draupadi manifested from the fire sacrifice along with the Drishtadyumna, and Draupadi was not physically born from the parents, but Draupadi manifested. So Draupadi was a pure devotee of the Lord in the previous lifetimes, and very pure devotee of the Lord. And then she was very devoted to Krishna, and it's like Draupadi is also considered as some potency that which manifested from the this what is called Draupadi and all, or sorry, Subhadramaya and all, right? They are the what is called they are the Nitya Siddhas, not the Nitya Buddhas. Actually, they are Nitya Siddhas. That means they are eternally liberated personalities. All these are literally liberated personalities. We are actually considered as Nitya Buddhas. That means we are conditionally, we are Buddha, we are conditioned here. So we have to come out of it by the devotional process. For them, it is not like that. They are eternally liberated, but they are enacting in the roles, various roles into the Krishna's arrangement. So we know that the Kurukshetra war was happened in one reason actually, like she was igniting the more fury between this adharmic and the people, so that they showed their complete ignorance, complete atrocities. And at the point of time, like Krishna was killing Shishupal, right? And Krishna was allowing him to come out completely, like hundreds of offenses. Then Krishna killed. So like that, this was ignited by the way that how they Draupadi is actually handled. And Draupadi was took a vow that she will not tie up her hair until she get the blood from the heart of Dushasana, right? Think about it. And she had such a vow that I mean, because of this vow, even one point of time, even Yudhishthira was trying to pull back from the battle from the war. And even because of this vow, and Arjuna and Bhima was insisting that we should go for the war, then what about Draupadi? And what about the atrocities against Draupadi? So this all added up for the battle and in the plan of Krishna, arrangement of Krishna. So yes, they were all actually, yes. I mean, as we can say that Draupadi went through a lot, and we can see that, and all this. But actually, because of this all created on such a scene and scenario, and because of all their suffering and struggles, so Krishna is making that arrangement. See, Krishna can annihilate everybody likes this. Krishna can just a matter of seconds, Krishna can annihilate everything. That's what is happening at the time of annihilation. Everything burns down, no matter what. But Krishna always wanted to protect his devotees, right? Protect his devotees. So Krishna will make a plan. So plan of Krishna, in the case of so many incidents, there actually in the how Krishna is planning for everything. Krishna is. So it's all arrangement of Krishna, it's all pastimes of Krishna. That's why, even Gandhari was so upset, right? Why Gandhari cursed Krishna? Because of, and she knew that, this was all arrangement and plan of Krishna. Then Gandhari did that. And but then Gandhari had to suffer for that. And people does a lot of things like that, right? So there is always a distinction between Krishna's associates and the devotees and the non-devotees. Yes, Krishna will make the devotees to be always protected in such a way that, and make, and at the same time a lot of pastimes happens like this also. They are not ordinary living entities, just came and suffer in this world. Yes, they have to go through all these various situations, or we can call it as a drama or a pastime, right? So in the drama, like there is a villain is there are certain characters. The villain come and kill the other person come and kill, and after the drama is all in the back of the stage. Everybody is shaking hand with each other, right? Isn't it? So it's like that. So it's all a pastime, and we can see that, and that is happening in the case of Arjuna and the Pandavas. They were so when Krishna manifested on this world, anything around Krishna was a complete pastime. It was all pre-planned. It's all arranged here actually. So that's Krishna's, the purpose of coming down into this world to protect his devotees in such a way that so protect dharma, and so multi-purpose, of course, protect dharma, at the same time protect his devotees and annihilate the miscreants, re-establish the religious principle dharma, and change the world, and all those things. And we can see that now things are coming up, like Kali Yuga. Kalki is already appeared, and when the due course of time, Kalki come and does the same thing. So you'll arrange, you'll have Parshadas, you'll have associates, they will all go through here and there, make in such a way that, it's all come to that point that he can now act on it. So this is all an arrangement of Krishna. That's what is, I would say that, my, way of seeing things.
Okay, so this was all arranged, and this is how the whole um, devotees around the war were helping Krishna to manifest this.
Yes, exactly. So
Okay,
think
okay.
about in the Ramayana.
Mhm.
See, Ramayana, when Lord Ramachandra Bhagavan and the kids in the Kaigeyi's incidents, right? Kaigeyi was behaving in such a way that if Ram didn't go to the forest, how he would kill the Ravana, and how the mother Sita didn't go to the forest, what would happen to all these miscreants, all these demons in the forest, and Ravana and all the Kumbhakarna, all these demons. So it's all a pastime. That's why it's called Leela Avatar. Krishna was in the Leela Avatar, and I mean Krishna was originally it's a Leela, and Rama was Leela Avatar. So it's a Leela. It's all Leela actually happens. So then think about otherwise. This was not happen. How it would happen? All these things. That's why these glories. These are all glories. It's not that we should see it. Always these are actually the glories. Krishna, Lord Ram see it. Lord Ram always smiling with it. When asked somebody what was happened, how it is all up, Ram was smiling because he knew that this is going to happen. And this is the way it is, and actually. Yes, but Lord is also acting as a human being. Yes, when it comes to that platform, like when something is on the fire, it is actually acquire the quality of the fire. So likes that. So when anything is on the material platform, yes, there are qualities of material that's also there, in order to so that otherwise everything will be extraordinary, right? So you have to act and behave accordingly. So that's what is happening. It's like a drama. So in the case of Rama, it's exactly the same thing. And in case of Rama, what happened? Millions of devatas, millions of demigods are actually appeared as the monkeys or vanaras, isn't it? Millions of. They already appeared. They took like Sugriva, the Vali, everybody is actually. Pretty much all of them are serving the Lord was actually demigods, and they all already appeared. In the case of Krishna, demigods appeared in the form of various forms appeared and associate Nitya. These are called Nitya Siddhas, and they all appeared in the assistant in order to assist in the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. So that's what is happening.
Okay, so thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, then how do we see our situations? We understand that these were Sri Krishna's leelas, and
Yeah.
through leelas, we understand some lessons that we need to draw. So
Yes.
in our material life and our journey, how
Yes.
do we see events happening with us? Like, do we say that this is a drama and we are just a part of
No.
that drama?
No, we don't say that's drama. This is for us. We are Nitya Baddhas. We are conditioned
Mhm.
living entities. We have to go through because of our karma. That's we are because of the reactions, because we are bound by this material world. This is all are actually our own things, that our own material desires and bound by the karma. And also that way, as I mentioned about Bhagavad Gita in a Bhakti Rasha class, five factors are happening because of our free will and desires. So we act accordingly, then we get the reactions of it, right? So we go through, we suffer it, and because of our own desires, and we go through sometimes happiness, sometimes pleasure, pain is all the results of our karma and activities. So that we have a karma, that means we have activities to perform. That's why we have the body, we have these specific things. So how we can come out of this eternal this nitya baddhas, that means it's conditional, this conditioned life, then understanding that our position, who we are, understanding our nature, that who we are, understanding, and slowly that we can realize ourselves, we can engage in performing and engage and enter into this bhakti and loving devotional service, so that slowly with the desires, our sincere desires, we can come to the service of the Lord. This is the way we burn away all the karmas, we engage into the service, so then we liberate ourselves, then we will attain the supreme abode, and there we will be eternally Nitya Siddhas. So we'll become the Nitya Siddhas, and then we will become. So one who reaches the abode of Krishna, that never comes back. So once we liberated to Krishna's abode, then we'll be eternally liberated personalities. But as long as with our karma, we have to act. This is not pastime, this is our own, karma that we are acting here. Prarabdha or aprarabdha, whatever it is, good or bad or whatever it is, all the karma with our own desires that in this lifetime, that which we are accumulating, and that's also karma, sometimes good and bad. This is happening for this conditioned living entities, or we call it as nitya batas. So they have to, work on it. They have to act on it, so that these all pastimes and all this we can learn from it. Like in the case of Pandavas, in any case, they never left Krishna. They never, envious of Krishna. They never say that, oh Krishna, you are giving us a lot of trouble. And Mother Kundi said, give us trouble. So this is the lessons for us. Even though many things, material world is, as Krishna says, is full of suffering. Ashashvatam dukhalayam. This is all for us. Krishna making all this arrangement for us to realize this fact and understand this fact, and then bring that soul back to Krishna, and then back to Golok Vrindavan. So this is the reality, this is the science, this is the transcendental science. So that by this process of bhakti, then one can actually go back to home, go back to Srila Prabhupada says, go back to home, back to Godhead. Right? So this is what is we can learn from all these experiences, things. Otherwise, we can what we can learn from, we feel so much engaged into the sensual activities. Yes, that's also desire and karma. So we accumulate karma that comes back to us, good or bad. We suffer all those things.
Mhm.
So we have to. That's called that is called tadastha shakti, or marginal potency. So we have a choice where to go, whether the spiritual or material.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Wonderful questions. Very nice. Okay, anything else? Anybody?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Danda
Krishna.
pranam.
More goes to Srila Prabhupada. Jai.
Prabhuji, just on the same note, thought also goes towards the all the warriors, the soldiers who fought this war, and trying to understand how their karmas play the role, how they get involved. The fact that we always talk about the kings and the majesties, and what went on with Draupadi, and what the deeds of Duryodhana. So how do these kinsmen who are there fighting the war and just taking the orders, how do they get to be on what side of that's also the karma playing role in their individual lives?
Yeah, those are individuals. Those who are actually played the karma. That again, right? In the presence of Krishna, in the battlefield, they all attain heavenly planets. In the presence of whoever actually in the presence of Krishna attain liberation. So it is all Krishna's arrangement that everybody get the liberation. Everybody, even Duryodhana got liberation. So all the you know. So yes, so it's all arrangement of Krishna, and yes, their karma played that role, and that karma is a good karma. That because of the presence of the Supreme Lord, they can leave their body, and it's all arrangement of Krishna. They are all actually entering into the mouth of the Lord. That means enter into the Lord, and as it's mentioned that maybe Sayuji Mukti or whatever it is. So they get liberations. So it's all a benefit. So yes, it's a deciding factor is actually what pious they did, and in front of the Lord they can die, they can leave their body. This is temporary. This body is temporary. So they get a permanent home. They get a permanent identity. They get a permanent residence. They are eternal. They became eternal. So yes, all Krishna's arrangement, and they are all become part of it. Many people. Some get there are liberations in many types. That's why there are liberations in many types. Some get sayuja, that means they merge with the effulgence of the Supreme, and then there is a chance that they can fall down, come back into this material world. So whoever is actually, those who are on the enemy side, on the opposite side, and they all get this kinds of liberation. They merge with the effulgence of the Supreme Lord, and then there may be a chance they can come back and do this. It depends on their karma. But on the other hand, unfavorably, they are by the mercy of the Lord. They all get the liberation such a way that samipya mukti, that serve the Supreme Lord, and likes that. So yeah, is it clear, or is it still not clear?
Yeah, it is clear to some extent. The fact that Krishna desired this war, and so the soldiers that participated, you know the
Yeah.
but the fact is which side of the team they get to be, which side of you know the victorious side versus the defeated side. uh, is that I'm trying to think how
Yes, exactly.
not
Yes.
not everybody would go get the get the heavenly plans because they all fought the war. But I think I was the conception I had in mind was because of their individual karmas. They may be again doing their karmic journey, so they may be based on the karma, they might be good ones, maybe on the side of uh, Lord Krishna, or Pandavas versus the other ones which were in the kingdom of Duryodhan. Maybe based on their karmas, they were on the side of Duryodhan. I'm just trying to, again, it's something very difficult to comprehend, but it just, I was thinking,
Yeah,
why?
yes, their karma played a big role, right? Their karma played a big role, yes. So that karma, because of their good karma, they're supporting the Yudhishthira Maharaj, and they were all pious devotees. Like even the brother of Duryodhana, Yuyulsu, that the Yuyulsu, he actually came out from the Duryodhana. He actually just fighting with the right. So where it's come from? Because he was a pious soul. He was a great soul, Yuyulsu. There are so many likes that, the great souls. But those who have enmities, like in the case of Jarasandha, the what is called that yeah, what is Krishna killed that with the chakra. I just forgot. Dantravakra and Shishupal. Yes, Shishupal. The all armies were there actually. They were all supporting, right? Kamsa, they were all supporting Jarasandha. They were all supporting Dantavakra and Kalanemi, and so many, likes that. So they all comes together in one group. They all comes together. So Krishna killed them. That's why Krishna's arrangement, that they're demoniac. They're demons. Their activities, their karma. So Krishna killed them. So Krishna killed many of the demons even they come, but they all get liberations. Yes, because of their karma, because of their demoniac activities, they became like that, and they became grouped with Duryodhana. And Duryodhana was also the reincarnation of Kali, and likes that. So so this is the demoniac. So they all killed, and the another good thing is actually that when the Krishna is there on the battlefield, but in the presence of Supreme Lord, they all get liberation. When Krishna does something, they all get liberations. So yes, there could be karma, there could be who knows that they were all part of the demons, and it was part of their, and by the mercy of all. See, at the end of the day, there is no enemy for Krishna. Krishna always seeing they are the spirit soul, his own part and parcel, isn't it?
Right.
Right? Krishna doesn't see. It's all his own part, even if they are doing the activities. So, Krishna, all we need is actually Krishna just purifies them, just like that. So Krishna make all this arrangement. Some may be in the demons, and some, so he fought. And then, it's all pastimes anyway. Another thing is that, Lord took Varaha Avatar and fought with Hiranyaksha 28 days. Krishna had that kind of desire to fight with somebody. That's called, Shivarli Leela. 64 qualities, this is the one of it. So yes, Krishna's arrangement, Krishna's plan, and somebody comes an opposite, somebody comes as an enemy, somebody thinks, depends on their what they do and what they belongs to, what they desire for. what they, part of somebody become demons and somebody become humans and somebody becomes, demigods and all those things, isn't it? So demons basically, they have enviousness with the supreme. So that's what is called the topmost of all, right? I mean, they come down the lowest of all. That means they come down in such a way that they are even ready to fight with. They don't even know who is actually in front of them. But on the other hand, Arjuna, Yudhishthira, they know who is this person. Bhishma Dev. They know who is this person, but others they don't know. So one point of time, what happened depends on their bad karma. They become demons and they fight and they even challenge the Lord. That's why we can see in this world many people, who is God? Where is God? I'm God. This kind of attitude. So then one day it all has to be killed, and then that's what is happened. In any case of any times, in the case of Ravanas, all the associates with Ravanas and Kuman, all Rakshasas and the demons. In the case of humans here on the platforms on this 5,000 years ago, right? So war were there. So that's what it is. Always there is a fight between dharma and adharma, right? In order to establish the dharma, there is always a fight between adharma. So where these adharmis are there, yes, their activities and their karma, nothing but.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Wonderful. Very nice. Nothing else? Anybody? Otherwise, let's conclude. So almost 8:50. I don't want to hold you back. Okay. Thank you, dear devotees. If this is okay, let's conclude here. Vancha kalpatarupasya kripa
Padarupyascha kripasinubhya
Satsang
Vishnu Vrinda ki jai.
Jai
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai
Ananda
Jai Prabhu.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sameshwar Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice class.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Very
everyone.
Wonderful.
Hare
very
Krishna.